Hey everyone, if you've been looking for games that just let you breathe, relax, and actually enjoy yourself, you're in the right place. Today, we're counting down the top 20 cozy games on Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 that you absolutely need to play. Let's get into it. Neva is an action-adventure game from the team behind Grease, and from the moment you start playing, you can feel the same level of craft and care. You play as Alba, a swordswoman who ends up bonded with a wolf cub named Neva after a brutal encounter with dark forces tears their world apart. The two of them travel through 4 seasons of a world that's slowly rotting and dying around them. Gameplay-wise, it's a 2D platformer with fluid combat. You slash, dodge, and work with Neva to take down enemies. But Neva isn't just a pet or a sidekick. She grows throughout the game, from a clumsy little cub into a full-grown wolf with her own personality. And that relationship becomes the heart of everything. The art is stunning, the music hits hard, and the story is told almost entirely without words. It's emotional, beautiful, and the kind of game that stays with you long after the credits roll.
Neva.
Yoshi's Crafted World is one of the most charming platformers on the Switch, and it's genuinely hard not to smile while playing it. The whole game is built to look like a giant craft project. Everything is made of cardboard, yarn, bottle caps, and paper. You play as Yoshi, bouncing through levels, throwing eggs to hit targets, and uncover hidden collectibles. Each stage has a front and a backside, and you can flip the perspective to play through levels in reverse, a clever mechanic that adds real replay value. The story is light and fun. Some Koopa kids steal the Sundream Stone and scatter its gems, so Yoshi and friends have to get them back. But the real draw here is how joyful every level feels. The whole thing is designed for everyone, from little kids to grown adults who just want a stress-free, gorgeous game to sink into on the couch after a long day. Snufkin, Melody of Moominvalley. If you've never heard of the Moomins, this is a gentle adventure game based on a beloved Finnish franchise, and it is one of the most peaceful games on this list. You play as Snufkin, a wandering musician returning to Moominvalley each spring. But a park warden named Hemulin has taken over, plastering the valley with signs, fences, and rules. Your goal is to free the valley and reunite with your friends. You explore, collect musical notes, and use Snufkin's music to communicate with creatures and solve puzzles. There's no combat, no death, no timers, just a hand-painted world, songs, and quiet conversations. The story is about freedom and belonging, and every moment feels considered. It's only 4 to 6 hours long, but every bit of it is genuinely cozy and thoughtful, and perfect for handheld play. Yoshi and the Mysterious Book is one of the freshest entries in the Yoshi series in years. A talking encyclopedia called Mr. E falls from the sky onto Yoshi's island. His pages are full of creatures, but he can't remember anything about them, so Yoshi jumps inside to explore his colorful habitats and help him remember. Gameplay is all about discovery. You interact with creatures using Yoshi's classic moves, licking, egg throwing, flutter jumping, and ground pounding, and each interaction reveals something new. Filling out Mr. E's pages feels genuinely satisfying. The art style looks like a living picture book, with soft, painterly textures and pencil-esque outlines. Bowser Jr. keeps showing up in the pages too, which adds some fun tension. It's accessible, creative, and one of the most visually inventive platformers on Switch 2. Strange Antiquities is a quiet puzzle game set in the gloomy town of Undermere, and it is wildly addictive. You're the apprentice of a thaumaturge, a magic worker who's left you in charge of his occult antique shop. Customers come in with problems: a curse to lift, a journey to prepare for, a gift they need. Your job is to figure out which artifact in the shop matches what they need, using an occult encyclopedia to cross-reference clues. It's not always obvious, and that's the fun. You also explore Undermere itself during story quests, finding new artifacts and uncovering a bigger mystery building in the background. Rain patters against the windows, a shop bell jingles with each visitor, and yes, there's a cat you can pet. It's cozy and eerie at the same time, and the puzzle loop is the kind that makes you miss your bedtime. A genuine hidden gem. Unpacking sounds like it shouldn't work, but it absolutely does. The entire game is about unpacking boxes and placing belongings in rooms across different stages of someone's life. No dialogue, no cutscenes, no character faces, just objects. And through those objects, you slowly piece together a whole life story. Someone grows up, moves in with a partner, deals with heartbreak, finds themselves again. Each item tells you something about who this person is. Mechanically, it's simple. Pick something up, find it a home that feels right. But getting a room just how you want it is genuinely calming, and the satisfaction is real. The pixel art is warm, the sound design is excellent, and the emotional payoff is bigger than you'd expect. It's perfect for an evening when you just want to decompress without thinking too hard. Winter Burrow is a cozy woodland survival game where you play as a mouse returning to your childhood home in the forest, only to find it completely in ruins. To make things worse, your aunt, who was supposed to be looking after the place, has disappeared. So you gather resources, brave the cold, rebuild from scratch, and try to figure out what happened to her. The gameplay balances exploration and crafting without ever feeling overwhelming. You head out into the snowy wilderness to collect wood, food, and materials while managing your warmth and watching out for hostile insects. Back home, you decorate the burrow, bake pies, knit sweaters, and slowly build a community with the locals. The pacing is entirely yours. No rush, no daily deadlines. The mystery of your missing aunt gives you just enough pull to keep going through the winter. Date Everything is exactly what it sounds like, and so much more than you expect. You lose your job to AI, very relatable. And a mysterious stranger sends you magical glasses called Date Viators. Put them on, and every object in your house has a personality, a voice, and feelings for you. Your bed, your alarm clock, your shower, your fridge. 100 objects total, all fully voice acted by a massive cast. It plays like a visual novel with branching dialogue and multiple endings per character. Some routes are funny, some are surprisingly emotional, and some go places you genuinely don't see coming. The writing is packed with wordplay and puns that somehow land every time. It's a sandbox, so you go at your own pace and explore whoever you want. If you're after something genuinely weird, joyful, and surprisingly heartfelt on your Switch, this delivers in every way.
There's a distinct air of mystery to the private eye that stands before you. She reminds you of the old detective serials your parents...
A short hike does exactly what it promises and leaves you feeling something you didn't expect. You play as Claire, a little bird staying with her aunt at Hawk Peak Provincial Park. She's waiting on a phone call and needs to reach the top of a mountain to get signal. That's the whole setup. Getting there means exploring a beautiful open world full of hikers, side quests, fishing spots, and hidden trails. You run, climb, and eventually glide as you collect golden feathers that expand your abilities. There are no markers, no hand-holding, just a world to wander through and people to meet. The pixel art is soft and warm, the dialogue is funny and real, and the whole thing takes about 2 hours. It's the kind of game you finish and immediately want to replay, because the entire experience just felt that good. LOCOMOTO is a life sim set on a train, and that combination works better than you'd think. You play as a small animal character who inherits an abandoned locomotive and becomes the conductor of a countryside rail line, traveling between towns full of quirky anthropomorphic residents. Your days are spent picking up passengers, helping them reach destinations, delivering mail, gathering resources at each stop, and completing quests for locals, all while working towards saving your hometown of Baronpire from environmental disaster. You can fully customize your train, decorating wagons with furniture and collecting new outfits for your character. The lo-fi soundtrack is gorgeous, exactly the kind of music that makes you want to pour a hot drink and let the countryside roll by. It's not the deepest game on this list, but as a pure vibe experience, LOCOMOTO absolutely nails it. Cozy Grove is a life sim set on a haunted island, and the mix of cozy and spooky is handled really well. You play as a spirit scout who arrives on a foggy island inhabited by the ghosts of bears stuck between worlds. Each ghost has unresolved emotions and stories from their past lives, and your job is to help them find peace so they can move on. Gameplay is built around a real-time daily loop. You gather resources, fulfill requests, decorate the island, and tend to your campfire. Each day, a little more of the island's color gets restored as you help the spirits, and watching the world bloom back to life is deeply satisfying. It's designed for short daily sessions, 30 to 60 minutes, making it perfect for Switch handheld. The writing is warm, often funny, and each bear ghost has a fully realized personality that unfolds over weeks of play. Firewatch is unlike anything else on this list. It's a first-person adventure set in the Wyoming wilderness in 1989. You play as Henry, a man escaping a difficult chapter of his life who takes a job as a fire lookout in Shoshone National Forest. Your only connection to the outside world is a walkie-talkie and a woman named Delilah, your supervisor at another tower miles away. The two of you start talking, and that relationship, built entirely through voice acting and dialogue choices, becomes the backbone of the whole game. Strange things start happening in the forest, things that feel intentional. The mystery slowly builds as you explore and piece together what's really going on. There's no combat, no jump scares, just hiking, talking, and a creeping sense that something is very wrong. The visuals are stunning, the writing is sharp, and Firewatch stays with you long after the ending. PowerWash Simulator is therapy in game form. You are given a dirty thing. You clean the dirty thing. And somehow, it is one of the most satisfying experiences on Switch. You work through a series of jobs, backyards, vehicles, playgrounds, buildings, using different nozzles to blast grime off every surface. The feedback loop is perfect. You see progress in real time, there's a satisfying sound cue when a section is fully clean, and you can play it in short bursts or long sessions without any pressure. There's a story told through text messages from clients and a slowly unfolding background mystery, but most people are here for the cleaning itself. It also supports co-op, so you and a friend can tackle jobs together. If your brain needs something simple, zero stakes, and weirdly productive feeling, this is it. Coffee Talk is a visual novel set in Seattle where humans share the city with elves, orcs, werewolves, and other fantasy creatures. You run a late-night coffee shop, and each night customers come in with their stories and complicated emotions. Your role is to listen and brew drinks. You follow recipes to make coffee and other beverages, and the right drink can shift how a conversation unfolds. The writing is the star. Every character touches on something real: loneliness, identity, creative burnout, relationships, belonging. The lo-fi hip-hop soundtrack wraps everything in warmth, and the pixel art is cozy without being cutesy. It's about 5 to 6 hours long, but it's one you'll want to revisit. Coffee Talk is the kind of game that makes you feel seen, and that's rarer than it sounds. Animal Crossing New Horizons needs very little introduction. It basically defined cozy gaming for a generation. You move to a deserted island and slowly, over real-world days and weeks, transform it into a community full of animal villagers. You fish, catch bugs, dig up fossils, plant flowers, decorate your home, terraform the island, and build friendships with your neighbors. The genius of Animal Crossing is its real-time clock. The game moves through actual seasons, weather, and time of day alongside you. There's no fail state, no enemies, no pressure. You just show up when you want and do what feels good. It exploded in 2020 and never really stopped being relevant because it scratches an itch almost nothing else can. If you haven't played it, it's one of the most essential Switch games ever made. Untitled Goose Game is the funniest game on this list, no contest. You are a horrible goose. Your job is to cause maximum inconvenience for the residents of a quiet English village. The game gives you a to-do list. Steal the groundskeeper's keys, make a shopkeeper say honk, trap a kid in a phone booth, and you complete each task by waddling around, honking aggressively, and grabbing things with your beak. The puzzle design is clever and often hilarious, and villagers react to your nonsense in completely believable ways, scrambling to undo whatever chaos you've just caused. It's short, about 2 to 3 hours, but packed with laughs from start to finish. The silent film-style piano score is the perfect touch. If you want something light, absurd, and genuinely joyful, this is always worth having in your library. Spiritfarer is the most emotional game on this entire list, and I mean that in the best possible way. You play as Stella, a young woman who becomes the Spiritfarer, a fairy captain for the dead. You sail a constantly expanding boat, picking up the spirits of people who have passed and helping them find peace before they move on to the afterlife. Each spirit is a full character, with a backstory, needs, and personality. You build them rooms, cook their favorite meals, hug them, and slowly learn what they need to let go. Gameplay includes farming, cooking, crafting, mining, and platforming, all woven together naturally. But the reason people love Spiritfarer is the writing. It deals with grief, death, and saying goodbye in the most human way possible. This game has genuinely made a lot of people cry, and every single one of those tears is earned. Stardew Valley is the gold standard of farming games, and it belongs near the top of any cozy list. You inherit your grandfather's old farm in a small town called Pelican Town and start from scratch, clearing land, planting crops, raising animals, mining for ore, and getting to know the locals. The game is almost limitless. There are marriage candidates, a full community center to restore, seasonal festivals, dungeons to explore, and a farm to build however you want. The depth of the systems is staggering for a game built almost entirely by one person. But what keeps people coming back isn't just the content, it's the rhythm. Every day feels purposeful, every season brings something new, and the town slowly reveals its secrets over time. Years after release, it's still getting free updates and still converting new players every single week. A genuine classic. Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar is the farming sim that finally gave this long-running series its big moment again. You arrive in Zephyrtown, a breezy village with a once-famous weekly market that's now completely dead. Your goal is to revive both your farm and the bazaar itself. The farming side has all the classic goodness: crops, animals, relationships, and a full 4-season calendar. But the bazaar is the mechanic that sets this one apart. Every Saturday, you set up your own stall and sell your produce directly to customers in real time. And each successful market day grows the town and brings in new vendors. There's also a glider mechanic that lets you ride Zephyrtown's signature winds to reach new areas and gather rare materials. It's one of the most complete, joyful, and feature-rich farming sims to ever hit Switch or Switch 2.
There!
Pokemon Pokopia, the Switch 2 exclusive that launched in March 2026 and quickly became one of the platform's biggest surprises. You play as a Ditto that has transformed into a human-looking form and wakes up on a completely empty stretch of land. Your mission? Turn that barren space into a paradise that attracts Pokemon from all over. You gather wood, rocks, and berries, craft furniture and tools, grow vegetables, build little homes, and slowly fill your world with Pokemon who come to live there. You also learn Pokemon moves to help shape the environment itself. The more Pokemon you attract and befriend, the more the world opens up. It plays like Animal Crossing meets a crafting game, wrapped entirely in the warmth of one of gaming's most beloved franchises. It's relaxing, charming, and exactly the kind of cozy experience the Switch 2 needed right out of the gate. 20 cozy games that deserve a spot in your Switch or Switch 2 library. Whether you want to cry, laugh, farm, clean, or just exist in a beautiful world for a while, there's something here for you. Drop your favorite in the comments. I'd love to know what you're playing. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.